It's just we're caught in and if you go to school and you get out of school and you get a job and you get into this system, that system has already existed for a long fucking time. And this idea that you're going to come along and fix the system that shot JFK.
Right.
Like, listen.
It's so cool that that's kind of becoming a mainstream accepted fact that the CIA basically killed the president.
Fucking Tucker Carlson said it on TV.
He did a nice rap on that. That was cool.
And
he ran it down perfectly.
The way he said it was interesting. So I showed it to Mike Baker, who's the former CIA guy who comes on
because
our podcast
former
all the
is
time.
easy.
It's
so easy.
Definitely doesn't even talk.
No.
Why would he? But I had him watch it. He's always stated that he thinks that there was definitely a conspiracy to kill Martin Luther King Jr.
100%.
He thinks that there may be someone in the government who. He talked about how much money this guy had all of a sudden, and that this guy is kind of like a hapless loser, and now all of a sudden he has a car and he has money, and no one.
Well, JFK himself talked about this network of men, and it's a silent network, and no one dares speak out against it.
Yes.
Chuck Schumer,
secret societies. Yeah.
Chuck Schumer, he said, Trump better watch out. The intelligence agencies have, 12 ways until Sunday to get you. I mean, there's fear. The CIA was spying on the senators in the Senate Intelligence Committee.
But that's crazy that you would worry that the intelligence community would fire back at Trump. Like, if you're really what we all hope you are, which is agents that are looking after the greater good of the United States and all its people, what you really should be doing is ignoring some nonsense by this fucking...
Well, my uncle, Donald Gregg, was in the OSS before it became CIA. And the early days of the CIA, he was very high up in CIA. He's still with us today. And back then it was Catholics in Action. That was the acronym CIA. So it was kind of religious oriented, very proper, the suit and tie. And it was literally jump out of airplanes and save the world. That's what the CIA does. And somewhere that got corrupted. And it just became a fucking shit show, a real shit show. And they, in my opinion, they run most of everything. And they have control over everybody. I mean, it's really, really, you don't know how much money they have. You don't know their budget. These are the same people who sold weapons or traded weapons in trade for drugs. That was the Iran-Contra, which actually my uncle was kind of a part of. And, then those drugs came back. What are we going to do with these drugs, boys? I don't know, let's turn it into crack. Let's fuck L.A. Yay! This is shit that they did. It's not denied or anything. That's horrible because the government said we don't want to fund that anymore. I said, okay, Congress, we can't fund that anymore. But what do you think, boys? We got to keep this going. This is something we got to do. This is important for whatever reason. I don't know.
I don't know, but I like your accent that you gave them.
Yeah, that's my character.
That's what they've always done, right? That's the whole Barry Seal story.
That's completely the Barry in Mena, Arkansas.
Yeah.
But it goes. And Gary Webb, the guy who blew that open, and the journalist, he wound up committing suicide by shooting himself in the head twice. I mean, this is the level that goes to.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
So I don't
really. He shot himself in the head twice.
I believe the suicide was 2 shots to the head. I mean, that's always been the joke. But here's another one. When 9/11 happened, you know where you were, right? Everyone knows where they were on 9/11. When JFK was assassinated, everyone who was alive then knew where they were that day, except one guy. One guy doesn't know. He cannot remember where he was that day.
Who's that guy?
George Bush. I can't remember where I was.
Wow.
This Papa Bush, right?
Right.
And he, of course, was in the CIA at the time. And there's reports that he was in Dallas. So there's so much.
How could you not remember where you were?
Well,
that's like a thing that people...
To say it.
To say it is so crazy because... Yeah. That's a thing that we all say. Like, I remember where I was when Kinnison died.
Oh, me too.
I was watching MTV. I was probably watching you say it. You might have... Who was it at the time that announced... Was it Kurt Loder?
I was listening to Howard Stern driving into the city when all of a sudden that news came through.
I was in my living room in New Rochelle, New York. It was a shitty little apartment that I had.
And everyone was like crying. It was fucked up.
It was a bummer for me. It was a real bummer because he was the guy that really got me excited about doing stand-up.